We on the podcast, baby.
Club Talk. Jay Brody. Yeah, baby, it's that Club Talk. Yeah, baby, it's that Club Talk. You're now listening to that Club Talk. And now, your host, Jay Brody. 1, 2, 1, 2, ha!
All right, welcome back to another episode of Club Talk Podcast. Now, before I get into today's show with my guest, introduce her, make sure you do it right now. Subscribe, rate, follow on all the platforms. If you want to watch this podcast, just go to YouTube, type in Club Talk Podcast, and everything will pop up. You'll see all the episodes. If you're listening on iTunes, go ahead, subscribe, rate, review. Leave me a nice little review. That'll help me out greatly. And follow the podcast on IG at cloth_talk_podcast. Now, before I introduce my guest for today, I'm going to give her a little shit. I contacted her back in August. It's about to be 2019. We're in December, and I just got her on the podcast. I was relentless. Email after email after email. She kept saying, I'm coming. Matter of fact, let's do it this Sunday. I was like, perfect, coming. She sent me an email. Hey, I'm sorry I can't make it. I got this coming up. Let's do next. I'm like, all the way from August till December, she's finally here.
I'm here.
Asia, how do you say your last name?
Bange.
Asia Bange is here. Finally.
I'm here.
Your first podcast ever.
Yes, my first podcast ever.
You said you're a little nervous. Your nerves is going now.
I'm a little nervous.
A little nervous.
Because I hate public speaking and stuff, but
yeah,
it's a conversation. So
there you go. It's a conversation. Don't even forget about that camera. Forget about that microphone. Just focus on me. You'll do just fine. All right, so let's get right into the shits. So I wanted to know about your because I believe, as far as I've seen, I'm not originally from here, Columbus. I'm from Philly. You probably strike me as the fittest woman in Columbus.
Thank you. I get that a lot too.
Do you think that's true about yourself? Do you look at yourself like that?
I do.
Because you do this shit. You don't fuck around. Like,
yeah,
you're in the gym. You getting it in. I mean, I'm pretty sure your nutritionist, tip top. Like, do you look at yourself like, I'm probably one of the fittest women out here doing it?
I do. And I do look at myself that way because I know what I do for real. You know, like, I know what I do off the camera. And there's a lot of days I put in work outside the camera, you know, times where I'm grinding so hard that I can't even record. You know, I'm lifting heavy weights and doing stuff that I don't have no time to prop my phone up and get somebody to record me because I'm just getting it in. So I know that because I know what I do myself. And you know, it's other people. It's a lot of other women that are in fitness too in Columbus that are killing it too. But I know that I know me. I know my competition. I know my mindset. I'll try to, when I work out with anybody, I try to outwork them or try to go to their level.
Really? So you look at it like if you see, like, if you're in the gym getting it in, and you see like a girl getting it in a little harder, you're like, fuck that. Let's go.
No,
like,
not really.
See her on the treadmill a little harder than you, like, put this up to 7.5.
No, not really. I mean, I kind of stay in my own lane, but I just, you know, I know myself and I know what I can do.
Have you ever, like, entered any competitions?
I haven't, and it's crazy because last year? I think it was last year. I was going to enter, it was like a first moms, I can't even think of the organization or whatever, but it was like a first time moms, something you can get into, and it was like, because I used to work out at Crunch, and a lot of people there, they was, you know, they into it and everything. So one of my friends, Marissa, she had talked me into it and, you know, was telling me about it, and I was like, you know, because I would go in there and they would be like, your legs are so big, oh my gosh, and this and this, all you got to do is get your upper body. And I'm like, I never, you know, the competition, because one of my friends used to compete and she used to do all that, and you know, that's a different level, and you got to take your body to another level for that type of stuff. Yeah. And after my daughter, I just was feeling like I'm not ready for that, even though it was like 6-7 months afterwards. I just felt like, no, I'm not there yet. But I thought about it and I was going to get down to it, but then I ended up doing other stuff too on the side, and I just didn't ever get into it because I felt like I couldn't commit to it how I wanted to, and I didn't want to half it and go into it like that. So I just cut out of it, and I just didn't do it at all. But I was thinking about it, and a lot of people always ask me like, "You don't compete, you can do strong woman challenge or this and that." And I'm just like, I just feel like
you have to really commit to that. Yeah,
that's the thing. Like I don't want to. I know, my personal life too. I can't full time it right now, so it's like I don't want to commit to it and not give my all.
Yeah, regret that shit later on.
Yeah,
why did
exactly.
I do that?
But I most definitely do want to do something. I don't know what exactly it is, but I do want to do something. I think I was going to do like bikini or something. It was like first time mom bikini competition. And I just didn't end up doing it. But, I mean, I've seen a lot of people who, go out and compete. Yeah. And I feel like I was fit for it, but I know me. Yeah. I couldn't give it my all, so I didn't go into it.
Yeah. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. You smart.
Yeah.
I want to talk about your early days, your early stages, because I think people have this idea that when they see like a fit person, they probably was always like that their entire life, or how did they get to that? Like, oh, it's easy for you because you already fit,
right?
So when you were like young coming up, how did you start getting into fitness? Were you always an active kid?
I was always an active kid. I grew up around here, Mount Vernon area.
Oh, okay.
So I'm from here. Yeah, I'm from Columbus. So we always played, the parks. It's different now, but we always played, ran outside, the pools. I always was active as a kid, but I wasn't the kid who, my mom didn't have me in stuff from 5, when you was able to do stuff. I kind of got into sports in middle school.
You got a lot of brothers.
No, I got one brother.
I say, man, it just sounds like you have a lot of brothers.
No,
just
I don't.
You out there playing football with them and shit, climbing trees.
No, but it was always a lot of us, like my cousins, neighborhood kids. It was always a lot of us. Yeah. But I've always been active, but like sports wise, organized and stuff. It was a little later, like middle school. But I've always just been active, playing around, rough and everything. That's always been me.
So you were a tomboy.
Yeah, I was a tomboy. You could not pay me to wear a skirt. You could not pay me to put ballies in my hair, barrettes. I know, I was crying about all that.
Man, where do you think that came from? That just that drive that you had so young, just wanting to just get out there.
I don't know. I don't know.
It come from your parents or something? Or?
My mom, my mom wasn't very active. Like she's kind of built like me. Like she has the same physique as me and everything. Yeah. But she wasn't into sports or anything. I don't know, because my sisters, I got 2 older sisters and 1 younger brother. My sisters, they never was active either. One of my sisters, when we used to race and everything in the streets, she was way faster than me.
Really?
So I mean, yeah. And like as we grew up, she got out of shape and everything, and I ended up being way more athletic than her, but she was always faster than me. So we used to always race and always climb the beds and just compete with everything. Yeah. But I don't know if my background or like history, I don't have no relative who I seen was very active or in the sport that inspired me. I think it was just more of like myself and just something I got myself into.
Yeah. What was the first sport that you played?
In 8th grade, I ran track, and it was basically, I did that with my friends. Like my friends, they were, I came to a new middle school, Sherwood, and they was doing volleyball, basketball, they did everything. And I did track one time. And first year out, I was a little short sprinter, was good at everything, I was fast, and the coach from there just kind of like, just molded me into the person that I wanted to be, and I just took that, knowing how athletic I was then. I just took it and just went on into high school, and it just carried me.
So you just kept going with it?
Yeah, I just kept going. So from there, I went to high school and I did every sport: cross country, basketball, volleyball. Was that all of it? I think that was it. And I just did something all year round. Like we just made sure we was active all the time, and just went from sport to sport, season to season, staying active. And my favorite sport was volleyball. I loved volleyball. I
was about to ask you, what was your favorite out of all those? Volleyball? Why volleyball?
Because it was just, I don't know, it was just different. Running is running. You run all day. So it was just different. Like, it was a team effort. You got the cheers and everybody. It was just a different feeling, and it was a different atmosphere because it was so many people on the floor with you, and it was like you was singled out, but you wasn't. And it was just, I think the whole sport, volleyball, it was hyped up real good, and it just, the cheering and the oohs and the ahs and all that.
That
it was
crowd.
real fun. But as I got older and as I kept playing sports, I realized that track was my sport. You know, that was the sport that I was the best at. So more and more through the years of my high school career, I just kind of singled it out and did like indoor track, and then focused on it because I knew that was gonna give me the money to go to school.
So that was a meal ticket.
Yeah.
Use this speed, we gonna cash in on this.
I had to. I said, school ain't cheap. I gotta get the most money out of somebody. So yeah, more towards my junior senior year, I kind of just singled it out and was more focused on track, and did it over the summers and just try to work harder at it. See where it got me. Yeah. And it got me somewhere because from my sophomore year, I was going to state every year. Yeah. So, and that was when I was going to state then. I think I was going to state for the hurdles. I think I always went for the hurdles. I don't know if I ever went for the one. But I used to run the 100 at first. Okay. And that
was a bread and butter event for you.
That was it in middle school. So, that was it. But, you got the high school and it was a little different. You running with the seniors and you running with the juniors. So it was different. And I kind of I was okay. I was still good. I could still make it to finals at every meet and I could still compete in the cities. But I had a teammate and she was doing the hurdles and I think we were at a meet and my coach needed another hurdler. And I'm like, okay, just throw me in it, coach.
I got it.
I did it and I had ran the same time as the hurdler that we had, our legit hurdler.
So you performed pretty well.
So I performed good with no form. So I was like, okay, I'm getting dusted in the 100. I'm gonna get in these hurdles. So I was like, okay, I like the hurdles. I just will watch the older ones and just pick up practice with them and stuff. So it ended up being my event, the hurdles. I did the 1s and the 3s, and then I did the relays. So. Yeah. I just had to take advantage of what I was good at because I was tired of losing. But it was all fun. So that's how I got into the hurdles. Yeah. And like I said, I went to states every year after my sophomore year. So it was just I just had to crunch down and figure out what it was. States, that was something.
I was about to say
that's something big.
Yeah, that's a big stage.
It's a big stage, and it was good.
How was that experience like? Every year you're going, is it are you just caught up in it? You don't even realize how big the stage of
Most
it
definitely.
is.
I don't know if this was I think it was my sophomore year. I think it was the first year I went.
Because these are the best of the best from everywhere.
Yeah, and usually, it'd be good ones in the city and, just around.
Did you think you probably, your first one, did you think, I don't know if I'm ready for this? I think
the first year I went, I don't even think I really knew what it was for real.
Okay, we'll go to States.
Yeah, because, okay, I'm going to States. I'm looking at it I'm still running. It's June and I'm still running. But, as I got older, I started to understand. But, it was a good experience, and I think it was so funny because the first year I went, my coach, we were walking across to the 300 start, and he was like, you know what, this can be you. He looking around like, this can be you. You can be going here, and I'm like, I ain't going to school for track. I'm like,
try to hear that. Come on, man.
I ain't going to school for that. I ain't that good. Just thinking that, and as the time went by, you just start to realize, whatever I put my mind to, I can do. Mm-hmm. But it was a good experience, and I kind of seen the same faces year after year. Yeah. Just with the same people who, was my age group or it was coming out 1 year before me. So it was kind of the same competition all the time.
You always saw that one person that you can't beat. It's always you every year.
Yeah, it was always like that. Yeah. I always had competition too in the city. I always had competition with either me and somebody else who would tag it meet after meet. And then when it got to districts and stuff, it was somebody else that I always was competing with. So it was always it was my show, but it wasn't so I always had something to prove.
Yeah. Does that get because I'm trying to think about as far as sports, does that competition in as far as track and field events, does it get nasty? Is it trash talking? Is it is it in your face I'm what I'm about to do to you?
It can
line up
get
for those blocks.
I think boys and males are more of that, but
the women are.
It was like that too. I had some meets where, like I said, because I'm a city kid, so we don't have the same resources and. We don't know how to come out of blocks. We don't know how to come out of blocks, and form is like I said. I jumped into the hurdle, so my form was all over the place. And I had some meets where I would come out and they'd be like, look at her form, whatever. And I would turn around and be like, all right, get my form, but I'm going to be the first one to this hurdle. So I did used to get trash talking and stuff, but not that much, but it always.
So you would just go focus.
Yeah, I was always the person. I was never like the shut down person on that type of energy. I always just made me go harder.
Yeah. How did you get into to personal training? Because I imagine like with most people who are athletic and people can see that, they come to you for advice. I want you to train me. I want to look like you. I want to get right. Like, how did you get into that? Was that something that you wanted to do, like train people, or just kind of just happened? Like people always just coming to you?
I think I've always wanted to do it because like even when I was in college, and we had professional sports strength coaches and stuff, but I always used to, when we go to the weight room was I used to love it. Like when we had to go to the track, I was mad, but when we had to get up and go to weights, I was happy. So it was always something that I loved to do, and I used to always push my teammates. And after we hit the calf, come on y'all, let's go do abs in the Ryck. Like it was always in me. So I think it was always in me, but I think after I had my daughter, that's what made me look at it as this is something I want to do wise. And I think that came from just me being at a point where I didn't feel like myself postpartum. Like I think I went through postpartum and
really? After your daughter?
Yeah, you see me just try to flip it like a period when I didn't feel like it was postpartum.
Right.
And it wasn't a serious one, but it was just a point where you stop feeling like yourself and you're just unhappy and
like depressed.
Yeah, kind of like depressed, but more of like stressed and depressed. Like depressed.
Gotcha.
I keep trying to push it away because
I'm too smart for this age. Cool.
Yeah,
psychology major over here.
Yeah, people don't want people don't want that attached to them. They don't want depressed and that person.
It's a bad
it's like
stigma.
It's like a sickness or an illness or something. So but I did go through a point where I was depressed and just not feeling like myself. And
did you stop working out and just do everything?
I didn't stop. It's not like I shut down. It was more the period where I couldn't work out. You got so much time, 6 weeks or a couple months where you can't do nothing because you're healing and everything. So it was like at that point I started to feel like not myself, looking in the mirror, not seeing myself. My body changed. So, like you said, your body changes when you have kids. So
it's hard to accept. It's like,
it is, especially when you're so used to
this.
You know what I'm saying? You're so used to this lifestyle. And I worked out my whole pregnancy. So
still working out.
I was still working out all up until probably like the last couple weeks. Like I was working out all the time. And
wow, people look at you like girl, what you need to
I
go sit down? What are you in the gym for?
Yeah, like I think I stopped working out like a couple weeks, and I probably still was like walking and stuff, but probably stopped working out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it came from that point of just not feeling like myself and just just stressed. Like I would talk to my friends and be like, I don't know what's going on. Just being unfamiliar with yourself and just at a low point that you don't know, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what's going on.
You never experienced that before.
I never experienced it, So I'm like, this is like the lowest of the lows. Yeah. And after that, when I was able to work out again, that's when I started feeling myself come back. That's when I started feeling like myself again. Yeah. My body back changed. I'm tightening up more. I'm gaining my weight back because after my pregnancy, I only gained 35 pounds.
So that's
a normal pregnancy.
Normal, okay.
So that's like not over, not gaining extra weight.
Yeah.
That's like the weight that I was supposed to gain. And after I had my daughter, my stomach dropped back down and I was breastfeeding and stuff. So it kind of helped in everything. But, I lost muscle and got looser and, my stomach was darker and everything. So it was like a whole nother different person. Like
Look at me.
Yeah, I'm like, who is this? I'm so used to fit and crop tops. Like I'm never going to be able to wear a crop top. So when I got back to working out and everything, it just made me happy again. And when I got to that point, I'm like, okay, I'm back feeling like myself. This make me happy. I just started feeling like, if I can make somebody else, like, if I can pull this out of somebody else, like, that, that's a good feeling. It was such a good feeling for me that I just wanted to give it to somebody else. So then that's when I had, I started thinking about, like, making a page. Like, I would talk to my friends and be like, this is what I want to do. And just going back and forth for months and months about it. Like, okay, so do I make a new page, make a fitness page? Do I, push it off of my personal page? Like, I don't know. It was like a bunch of, it was like I was scared to put myself out there. But after like support from my family and friends, like, girl, do it. Like, what's the most thing can happen? Nobody follows you. What's the most thing can happen? Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was like after that, I just pushed myself, made the page, and after I made the page, you know, I started getting follows and, you know, people, hey girl, I love what you do. How, you know what I'm saying? It's just the support that came in that made me keep wanting to push. Like, okay, this is
feedback.
Yeah, like this. Okay, this is what I want to do. Like, and I think at first I just wanted to be like an influencer, like just motivate people. Like I don't even think I looked at it as like I want to make money off of it. It was more like I just want somebody. I know somebody else feel like this because I'm not the only person. Like that's why early in, like if you go down my page, you see me say, hey moms, hey mommies, I got workouts. It was always directed towards moms because that's who I can relate. Yeah, that's who I can relate to at the moment. And so yeah, it was just that, just wanting to do something for somebody else because I know it's how they feel. You know what I'm saying? So it was that right there. And I mean, when I used to come home for the summers, like you said, I would work out and people would be, can you train me? Can you train me? And I would think like, I'm not qualified for that. Like, I mean, I work out, but I don't know if I can train somebody else. And just after my pregnancy and everything, just feeling how I felt and then starting back working out and feeling how I felt happy again. I'm happy. I can be myself again. I'm feeling like myself. My body's changing back, you know. That's what made me want to go and push and help somebody else.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's a dope story.
Yeah, it was.
No certification or nothing.
Yeah, like it was like,
we gonna go get it in. Let's go.
Yeah, so that's how it started. That's what pushed me. Like I think it was always in me, but that's what pushed it out of me. Yeah, going through that low point, coming out of it, and being happy again.
Dope. Let's take a quick break right here at Cloth Talk Podcast. Asia is here. She's here. I can't believe it. I'm excited. She's here in the flesh.
I'm here.
That's right. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about some more good stuff. Make sure if you're enjoying the podcast, go ahead, subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment. Let Asia know she's doing well on her first podcast. Follow the podcast on Instagram, Cloth_Talk_pod. And if they want to follow you, where can they connect with you at, Asia?
AzzyBFit on Instagram. Just AzzyBFit. I think I have Facebook too. It's AzzyBFit too.
There you go. Make sure you follow her if you need some inspiration.
Yes, motivation. Yes.
Make sure you don't go nowhere.
Let's go.
Sipping margaritas with my mama. Sip it up. All the fellas on her top. Watch out. Sleeping on the beach, then got my skin tan. You can see where I wore my watch. I need the keys to my hotel room. Give it to me. I need the change for we roll out. I need to hop in the shower about a half an hour. Tell them 8, room 112, we need more towels. Whoa, I'm legendary in the hood. And when I blow the tree, every berry in the wood. Wait till they get a load of me, I'm going hard like I should. Rock hard, rock star, what's really hood? What? Now on your mark, get set. I don't know, nobody wanted with the crack. Man, I'm on fire, I'm smoking in this bitch. Hit man for hire, I smoke you in this bitch. I'm getting gripped like a plier. Girls in the Maya, you know the Oscar, you know I'm not no liar. Motherfucking imposter, stepping in my wire till I put a hole in they muffler backfire. Sipping margaritas with my mama. Sip it up. All the fellas on her top. Watch out. Sleeping on the beach, then got my skin tan. You can see where I wore my watch. Ouch. I need the keys to my hotel room. Give it to me. I need the change for we roll out. I need to hop in the shower about a half an hour. Tell them 8, room 112, we need more towels. Call a medic, forget it, it's a rental. Paramedic ain't even gonna make it to the spittle. The pedal to the metal, gas niggas petrol, let's go. Come on, Crakk Daddy, move on to the next floor. There go, you want it, well here it go. You front it when you should've kept it 100, you know. I'm fooling at the shows, I'm cool on the hoes. They drooling on my clothes with the rules on the door. TC rope on the pole, TC pop on the couch. I put it in her mouth, Lord, I never know. Margaritas with my mama. Sip it up. All the fellas on her top. Watch out. Sleeping on the beach, then got my skin tan. You can see where I wore my watch. I need the keys to my hotel room. Give it to me. I need the change for we roll out. I need to hop in the shower about a half an hour. Tell them 8, room 112, we need more towels. Hey yo, my whole life low. watch out. Sleeping on the beach, then got my skin tan. You can see where I wore my watch. Ouch. I need the keys to my hotel room. Give it to me. I need the change before we roll out. I need to hop in the shower about a half an hour. Tell them make room 112, we need more towels. Whoa.
All right, we are back. Cloth Talk Podcast. Asia's here. Discipline. Big
thing.
Specifically when it comes to working out, having a regimen, or like a diet, nutrition. We always say, you know what? No more fried chicken. Fuck these Twinkies. Fuck this soda. Yeah. I ain't smoking no more. No more liquor. No more this.
We always try to cold turkey.
One or 2 weeks. Just need one drink. Why do you think, coming from, your background and your expertise as far as like fitness goes, why can't we stay disciplined? Where do you think that comes from?
I think it comes from just not knowing how to be disciplined. And like we try to do that cold turkey, I'm gonna just go right out and just cut it out instead of just like, slowly working ourselves through it. Like I try to tell people, like if you're trying to work on how you're eating, don't go cold turkey and say, oh, I'm gonna stop eating red meat. Just try to narrow it down. Like, okay, I'm gonna eat. If you usually have pork chops twice a week, cut it down to once or bake them instead.
Don't try to stop eating pork chops.
Try to do different things to be disciplined, because if you try to go cold turkey, like, oh, I'm not, I'm taking pop out, and then you be feeding for that pop in the middle of the night, like, oh, I gotta get that pop. Then once you get it, you just relapse, like you got it. Now you just right back into where you just came from. So I think it's just learning how to be disciplined and how to, do it to set yourself up to succeed through it, instead of just, trying to go out and wing it on the first week and think, oh, okay, I'm good because I'm not doing it no more. We gotta learn how to just do it, and I think a lot of people with that also, they think of like dieting, like, oh, I'm gonna do it for so many days, 21 days with no chips, 21 days with no sugar, and then after that 21 days, what? You gonna go back to doing it? Like, it's a mind. I think it's a mindset with it too. How you look at it, like, am I looking at it as I want to be disciplined because I want this for the moment, or am I being disciplined because I want this to be my lifestyle? Like, this is how I want to live my life, and I want to, stop eating these things because it's not healthy for me. So I'm going to do it because my doctor said it, or am I going to do it because it's what I need to do to live longer, for my lifestyle change. So I think the perspective of how people look at being disciplined is one of the main reasons why we always fail and suck at being disciplined, because we're looking at it wrong. We're looking at it as like, I got to be disciplined, so let me do it for this point of time instead of over a whole time.
It has to be like a goal, I guess, for you to want to be disciplined. Like a goal. And like I said, like, it has to be like you want it to be like a lifestyle change instead of like a diet. Because like a diet or anything you do to stop, bad habits, what they say, like 21 days to stop a bad habit, like that's stuff that you're gonna stop doing. But are you going to stop doing it forever, or are you just trying to stop doing it for this period? So I think that's the big thing with it. And I try to tell people, just like slowly work yourself into it, bits and pieces. Like if bread's something you try not to eat, just don't eat it so much. Or if you eat 2 pieces of bread, eat 1 piece and wrap your meat inside, fold it up or something. Like just try different things that you can do to help yourself, so that you're not feeling like, I can't do this. It's so hard. It's ways to do it. Eat wraps instead of bread. Stuff. It's different. It's so many different ways you can do stuff. I think people just gotta just be prepared to be disciplined. Do you want to be disciplined? Ooh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you just tell yourself, okay, I'm about to be disciplined. I'm cutting this out. But is that what you want? You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just really your mindset and your perspective, how you go into it, is gonna determine if you're gonna get through it or not.
Have you personally ever struggled with discipline, like cutting something off, or you pretty much got it down pat?
No, I don't.
You slipped up a few times.
I struggle all the time, but mine is what I struggle with is, like, a lot of time I want to gain weight, and I'm like, I don't, cause I don't know, my appetite is so woozy at times. Like
Really?
sometimes
Is
it's
it up
good.
and down?
Yeah, it's like up and down. Like sometimes it's good, and then sometimes it's just I go through a period where I'm like, oh, I can't eat. Like I'm not hungry or like whatever. So I try to resort to like protein shakes and protein powders, and I always tell myself like I'm gonna do these. You know, I heard they're good and these ones are good, and I started, and then I'm like, because I'm a consistency person, so that you know that I'm lactose intolerant, so that you know that milky consistency, it all throws me off. So when I'm trying to do these proteins, I do them for about like you said, I do them for a good week, then I'm like I can't. So I definitely struggle too. Like I be telling people like I'm not perfect. You know, people be asking me like, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm not perfect. Look,
although they look at you, they be like, Asia got it down.
Yeah, I know
like,
it looks that way, but it's not.
It's always a struggle.
Yes, I struggle with discipline too.
Let's see what else we got. It's like working out. I always come across a lot of women who always assume that working out is just for men. It's a manly thing. Where did that come from? Why do women think? Because like it's always you see big muscles and weights.
Like brolic. I don't want to be brolic, or I don't want to be.
I don't like no man.
Masculine. Yeah, I think it comes from just being uneducated on it. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they look at bodybuilders and think, oh, because they lift, that's how all women who lift. The
images they're seeing.
Yeah, it's what is it? It's a statistic, or it's a certain image that they're putting with this weights in women instead of really knowing. Like you're not going, like I tell people all the time, like you're not going to bulk up by doing a 10-pound dumbbell. Like you're not going to do it. I don't know how many times you got to do it a day to bulk up by it, but it's not, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have, it's a period where your body gets to that point of being like muscular or something. Like it's not just I'm going to do weights for 20 days and I'm going to get there. It's like a progression and keep upping in your way, keep going and keep building and keep progressing rather than just soon as you pick up a weight or soon as you put 20 pounds on a machine and lift it, then now you're going to be masculine and have traps and everything. And I went through this too because when I ran track, and like I said, we had strength coaches and we would do these Olympic lifts and we would get so strong. Like during the season, I would be so strong. My traps would be up here, and I'm like, but track
kind of strong over there.
When you run track, certain things. Their back is usually strong. Their legs are strong. They kind of got that built to them. So I went through that too, where I'm like, man, I'm tired. I'm tired of lifting all these weights. They got us maxing out, every other week, and I'm getting brolicky. So I did go through that. I did go through that point where, but it wasn't more of like I'm not lifting weights. Like I never thought, any woman who lifts weights is going to get big and brolic and going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And you know what I'm saying? Like I never thought that. But I did go through a period, while in track, where during the season where we would go hard, where I used to be like, oh man, when I get done with track, I'm gonna cut back on that because I like my shape, but I want to be a little bit more smaller up top. So I think it's just not knowing enough about it, and just, or even if somebody does do educate themselves a little bit and do want to take like a weight strengthening route at working out, maybe they're not doing it the right, going through the right programs to do it. Yeah, like maybe they need something else rather than like strengthening. Maybe they need to like tighten up first or something, because it's like it's so many different ways and outlets that you can get to take your body to certain points. Right. You just gotta know. You gotta educate yourself. Yeah.
With I'm curious to know, like, what's your routine and regimen like? Like, how does your like say like in a week? So like from like Monday through Sunday, like what is how do you do do you get up early in the morning, you hit it, or after work, or do you do it like you doing back today, legs next day, we'll do tris and bis that day? Like what's your routine like?
So I try to work out at least like 3 to 4 times a week.
3 to 4 times a week, okay.
Yeah, so I've never been the type to go crazy like every day, unless I'm doing unless it's like I'm not gonna do weights every day. Maybe I'm gonna do like cardio, go run, and then maybe like Tuesday I'll go do upper body. But I usually break it down as in I'll do, say if I'm gonna do weights 3 times a week, I try to have like cardio in the between. So like maybe my Monday would be like a long run or, you know, like something like that. And then Tuesday I would do like upper body, and I would do like arms, you know, back, you know, just the upper body. Yeah. And then Wednesday I would do like a high intensity circuit style, like, you know, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 5 exercises, like 3 rounds of that. Yeah. And then the next day I would do like lower body, legs and butt. And the next day I would do maybe another long run, or maybe that'd be like a ab day, like where I'm just doing a whole bunch of ab circuits and just focusing on my core. And then maybe like Friday or Friday or Saturday, I don't know what day we would be on, but then I would go and do like a full body workout type thing where I'm kind of like doing everything. Yeah, everything. And then, I mean, the days would change to like any day I can switch around anything, but that's kind of how my setup is. Like, I don't go hard. Well, I try not to go hard on like certain body parts all at once. And then like, or every day, like do lower body. Like, I know I post a lot of, on my Instagram page, I post a lot of lower body because that's what most people ask for. Like, but you know, like when I ask anybody, like, what workout should I post? It's usually like abs. Most females and women want they abs and they ass, right? Yeah. So that's what I try to target. Ass. Like, okay, this is what y'all like. This is what y'all been telling me y'all like. So that's what I try to put out there the most. But I'm well rounded. I think that's why I look the way I look too, because I kind of, you know, don't forget about certain parts. Like, I don't have a nice little toned butt and then my legs look like chickens, so or like my arms, like I think my arms are wimpy, but that's like I said, that's because I mostly focus on my lower body or like my glutes and stuff. But I mean, they're proportioned. Like, it's not like, oh shit, you got wimpy arms on that little big
like
head.
Noodles.
So I mean, I try to balance out everything, and then it would depend, like, you know, if what I'm trying to do. Like, if I'm trying to gain weight, maybe I would cut back on cardio. And, you know, we'll do like a Stairmaster type thing instead of the treadmill or instead of long runs. But yeah, I'm an outside person. Like, I like to do a lot of
be outdoors.
Yeah, like I'm not really like a gym rat. Like I go to gyms and I work out at gyms because that's where, you know, the stuff is. But I like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love high intensity circuits, you know, lower weight, high reps type of things.
You like using that body.
Yeah. Really. So and that's very challenging to a lot of people who, you know, are not at that stage of fitness, you know, or not that athletic. You know, because when you're using your body, that's a lot of work, you know. You got to be able to pick yourself up. Your body weight can kill you more than putting some weight on a bar sometimes.
Gotta be a beast.
That's what I like to do though. But I think that's kind of like because of the style we kind of did a lot with track. Like, we would have a lot of circuit days and stuff. So it's all what I'm used to. Yeah.
What's your least favorite body part to work out? Like, no matter how fit a person is, I don't care.
Chest.
It's always like, I hate doing this.
My chest. Like, I think my chest. And I think it's a lot of times I forget how weak it is. Like, you know, how weak my chest is until I'm doing something. Like, when I'm, and it's like, I think it's because it's one of those body parts that I've never really had to, you know, work out. Because with track, we always lower body. You know, they hamstrings and, you know, we need everything back from our back down. We need everything. So upper body has always been a little weaker to me, but I've always been the type of person I can do pull-ups. I can do chin-ups. I can do all that. So my core is strong. It's just like up here. Up here is where
we get up here. It's a little challenging.
Sometimes my biceps too, like when I do curls and stuff. But I have the type of body that if I do anything, it'll bulk up real quick. Oh, like really? It'll bulk up and swole up real quick. So if I do 3 rounds of 15 dumbbells, my arms be looking like pop high, and I'll be like, no, I'm not doing those for another 2 weeks. But yeah, my chest is the area, and I think it's like, we don't, like I said, we never really had to do like chest press or anything, so it was nothing that I ever thought that I, you know, needed to be strong at or you know, even with balance out. But it's most definitely an area that I always tell myself, like, do a little chest. But I can do push-ups and stuff, but I feel like push-ups is more like, I guess that is chest, but I always feel like that's more in your arms. Like,
I see the motion.
Like, but yeah, my chest is most definitely, I'm weak in my chest.
Like training chest. No, hate chest day.
I hate chest day.
There you go.
It's one of them things. All the guys always used to mess with me too. Like, get on that bitch, go on. No.
Your boot camps. I think that's where I first came across one of your your videos. It's like I'm always scrolling through IG to
on Explore page.
Yeah, to find people, to contact, reach out to have them on a podcast. People who doing dope things in Columbus and surrounding areas. And I think that's the first time I seen one of your clips, and it's like you and a group of girls like outside. I think like
on a track or something.
Yeah, I think you like doing like a track, and it was like. Yeah, you had them doing all types of stuff. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, I clicked on it. Then it led me to your page. Then it led me to your website. I was like, oh, I got to reach out to her. Mm-hmm. But yeah, your boot camps. Where did you get the idea to start the boot camp?
I got that idea of kind of like based off of like, the moms. And it was called Back on Track. And
Back on Track.
It was for the, like anybody, like the moms, anybody who want to get back on track. Most people who are, always going through their fitness journey, they're always usually picking up and stopping. Like they go through it for a moment, whether it's personal life or whatever, they'll do it for a moment and then they stop. Yeah. So it's kind of like that. Okay, let's get back on track, like get back on track. And I wanted to do it like, a lot of times I wanted to do it at the track, but just outside anywhere, recreational park, shoot, we can go to a parking lot and I can bring, little equipments and ropes and stuff and we can get it there. We did like, it was all type of stuff we used to do. But I kind of got the idea from basically just wanting to get back, like I said, get back on track. Make people realize that you can, no matter how many times you stop and start, you can always get back on track. And, it's always, you always can restart. It's never too late for you to be like, oh, I done did it so many times. I'm just, going to give up now. Like, you always can cycle back around and start over. And no matter how many times you have to start over, you can always start over because each time it might take you a little further with it. So, it was basically based off of that. And I mean, I used to have a lot of good turnouts with it. And we would do everything like circuits, just everything. Yeah. Stairs, heels. All of the stuff yourself. I would design it all. I would bring the speaker out. We would play the music and we would get it in. Like it was kind of like, we would do everything. Like it was really good. Like, some things we did was kind of like a dancing style, like we had the music playing, we'd be going up and down and jumping jacks and punching arms and everything. So it was kind of a style of all type of different things. I would bring them some weights and stuff just so they can have some weight, a little more resistance and stuff. But
is that something you're going to do again when you get warm out?
Yeah,
bringing it back.
And it was so crazy because the weather here is so bipolar. So
that's my favorite word to use.
Yes, it is. That's our weather.
That shit tripped me out the first time I came here. It was snowing, then it was like 10 minutes later, it's sunny. I was like, "What the hell just happened?"
Yeah. So that was something that used to mess up this schedule and stuff too, because it would rain sometimes, and then like nobody wants to be out there working out in the rain. Like I would still be out there, but the turnout would be different. And I didn't want to stop you, right? And I didn't want to set it up inside a gym or like a rec, because that gives people a different type of mindset too. Like we at the gym, most people don't like going to the gym because you know what I'm saying, they feel like they're not ready for the gym. Like I got people around me lifting weights and doing so much.
It could be an intimidating place.
Yeah, so the outside part, that's what I knew, like it can draw people in or starting back up. So when I had to like take it in, the crowd would get smaller or whatever the case may be. But that was the whole point of like back on track. Like we're gonna get back on the track, and literally on the track outside, at the park or whatever. But I mean, that was something that slowed us down too with it. Yeah, the weather and stuff.
Yeah, I bet. Well, I'm pretty sure that people are gonna be excited next time. You bring it back. They're gonna get bigger turnout.
I'm gonna bring it back. I'm trying to do it every summer that I can.
There you go. I'm curious to get your thoughts on surgery for like weight loss, and also like body alteration surgeries, like women getting the ass injections, they get the breast done, they get the lip full, and all types of stuff. To look a certain way, to feel I don't know, better about themselves, or to look like the girl in the magazine who's probably not real herself. Exactly. Someone like yourself, like who's naturally trained your body to look how you want it to look. I'm pretty sure you haven't used anything to enhance the way you look. All natural. What's your thoughts on those type of, like surgeries and altering your body to get like fake abs and make your ass
Oh my God.
like that? Roll your eyes.
Like,
if y'all watching on YouTube, y'all can just see her
Y'all
face.
can
Like
see where I'm about to take this.
she about to go in.
No, I'm not gonna go in. But
How do you feel about that?
I feel just me being a person who, like you said, who put the work in, to take her body to where she wants to take it because of what she does.
There's a lot of pride in that.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's an easy way out. And I understand, like what you said with the weight loss. I can understand the weight loss situation because some women do lose a lot of weight, and it's like that skin that they could never do. They're never gonna be able to do nothing with. They can work out. It's just gonna be there. So I mean, if that's what you got to do, you didn't took your body to a place that you never could take it, and you feel like just having that surgery to get that excess skin off, that's what you got to do. I can respect that. I can respect that method. But like the tummy tucks and the taking out ribs and the butt shots and stuff, and that's all that stuff is like an eye roll to me, and it's because I just think, like, who do you want to be? You know what I'm saying? Like, who do you want to be? Like, you can always work towards something, especially when it's like recreational or like they don't need to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, I think you're just a person trying to be somebody else. And it kills me when I see like fitness gurus who, the fake body parts that take advantage of it and start selling workout booty guide plans. It's like, come on now. I mean, people do because like I said, they don't know. They're not educated enough to know if this person's body is real or fake or whatever the case may be. But I mean, I feel like people can do what they want to do. It's just it's just me being a fitness person. When I look at it, I just frown upon it. Like, come on now, stop feeding hope and stop feeding these false lies to people when it's a way. I can respect it if they came out and said it, like, I worked out for years, now I got surgery and I wanted to get this, but because I mean everybody has an audience, so it's going to be a lot of people there to attract to that audience because maybe that's the same thing they did. But it just really bothers me when I see it and it's the fitness gurus and then their abs is fake or their butt is fake. And they got this big ass donkey and they can only lift a barbell with 10 pounds on each side. It's like, come on now, like y'all should be smart enough to understand. Okay, you got this something ways, but you can't lift your own body up, and you can barely do a squat, and but I mean, it is what it is. I think that is just crazy for real, because you can take your body to the limits that you want,
right? And
sometimes genetically, your body, maybe some people will never have like a hourglass waist, because it's just how your body is. But you can always take yourself. I feel like it's more rewarding when you do it yourself too.
Right, you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people. I've helped a lot of, like, maybe how many brides have I had? I think I had a couple, and you get to that point and like, oh my gosh, like I've never been this size, or never thought I could get back this size or get into my dress within this time. And it's like, when they do it, they understand, like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is rewarding. This make me feel good. Now I want to do it more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's just better when you do it yourself. And then a lot of that stuff is not healthy. Like, so much stuff is coming out with these butt injections and stuff.
Exploding.
It's killing people and it's hurting them. So it's like, I mean, if that's what you want to do, I guess you can do it, but I don't think it's a good look.
Yeah,
it's not a good look.
Rather spend a couple G's and just go to the gym,
right,
work out.
Right. They just want it now. No, fake abs. Oh my gosh, that stuff is crazy. I can't think of a little artist. I think she's like a rapper or something. She's open to her stuff, but she had got on there and she was like, I'm still healing. That's why they look like this. And I'm like, that look crazy.
It don't even look.
It don't
like,
look good.
As a man, like, it doesn't even.
But if you pay attention to it, it's like they're there, but it's like it's still like little loose skin around it. So it's like, it looks like you got chunky, like loose abs or something. Like, they're defined, but it's like skin around it. So it's weird. But You know this world. People always want the easy way out of things.
Yeah.
And
Needless to say, you would never be getting surgery, huh?
oh no,
What that means?
no,
You'll never get the enhancements done.
no.
That ain't happening. What if they cut you a check?
No.
I can't pay you.
I mean, I always talk about my butt, but I know that's something that I can
Develop.
I can develop that. So it's
Yeah.
like, no, I wouldn't do that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
You never do it.
No. Mm-mm.
Good one.
No. I'm too, and that's another thing. Like, I know a lot of people always ask me, like, what do you take? What supplements do you take? Or what do you do? And I'm like, really, I don't take nothing. I just told you how I be disciplined with the protein. So it's like, I really don't do anything. I just eat. I eat kind of good. I don't even eat the healthiest, but like, I can be better at that too. But you know, I eat good. I know my body, and I work out. I work crazy, so it all pays out for me.
Yeah. What's the I forgot to ask you this when we talk about the personal trainer part. What's the like the most, I guess, like challenging part of training women? Because I can imagine like women, they're not, you know, they're kind of cattyish at times. They don't want to do something. They don't understand why I gotta do that. Like, what's this for? It's always just pushback. Does it get frustrating sometimes, like when you don't have a female client and she doesn't understand why you have her doing certain things? And you try to get her to understand, like, okay, we're gonna do this. Like, why I gotta do that? Do you come across that?
Yeah, it's frustrating, and I think another big frustrating thing is when they come to you with a picture of somebody you know is fake. This kind of tying into what we just talked about. They come to you like, hey girl, I want my butt to look like that. And I'm like, girl, you know her butt is fake. Like, I can't make your butt. And I don't lie to people. I'll tell you in a minute, I can't do that. What you showing me, I can't do that. But I can help you. We can do this. Like, I can tell you the realistic way. Yeah. Your breakdown and how it's gonna be. Yeah. But yeah, it's confusing, and I haven't really, not yet. I haven't had any clients who really, you know, just always question me, or always, you know, I've always got the ones who I can't lift that, or you know, like, but and it's so funny because from their week 1 to their week 6, it's like, girl, you remember when I was saying I can't do that, and look at me now, like, so it's just like, it's a happy feeling when they get to that point of noticing that I was so weak back then, but now I can do this, and you know, now you don't have to modify it for me no more. I can, you know, add weight. But it does get, I mean, and especially from me being an athlete, because it's another, like, athletes is another thing, because we're so used, so everything is like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, you like squat, and they like, I don't, you know, how, or, you know, you tell them to do it, exercise, and they don't really know how to do it. And it's crazy because you really have to dumb it down, like dumb it down to them, like, okay, or, you know, like break it all the way down to them, and then you start thinking, like, dang, people really be not, you know, people really don't know, you know, the basic steps of, you know, being athletic, and it's just that's another thing that you have to just be understanding, like, okay, this person isn't me, because I learned that a lot. I would, you know, work out with my friends, and I'll be like, we're gonna do this many of these, and we're gonna do this and this, and they like, I can't do that. And, you know, I'm looking at them like, girl, this is easy. We just starting, like, this is warm up. And it's just understanding that too with people, that they're not at your level. You know, everybody's at their own level. You can discourage them if you do that. If you keep pushing them to this point where they're not ready, you got to break it all the way down, like, to a point where they feel comfortable, and then you can step them up to the new level. But yeah, it does get annoying, and it is frustrating when people are always like, I can't. And I had somebody like that before, and she didn't stay with me, but she was, and it was more of on her own too. Like, you know, she was coming to me, she was probably like in week 4, and she wasn't losing weight, and she wasn't, you know, doing nothing, like nothing wasn't happening for her. And she wasn't doing what she was supposed to do. Like, she was supposed to change her, you know, how she eat. She didn't want me to put her on a diet because she felt like it was gonna be too much, like training and dieting. So I kind of let her,
you
like,
gotta have both. Yeah,
but like, she was gonna do her own. Like, she didn't want me. Yeah, she didn't want me because she was like cutting out red meat or something. I tried to tell her, like, just because you cut out red meat, that don't necessarily mean that that's red meat is the issue. Like it can be. So she was like doing no red meats but eating carbs, and I'm like, carbs is probably was keeping that on. So
yeah.
I mean, she was always coming back week after week, like looking at me like, what's going on? And I'm like, I don't think what I'm saying. It's hard to tell people like what you're doing isn't enough.
Yeah,
but
get offended.
Yeah, it can get offensive. Like I'm trying, I'm doing, but. I knew she wasn't giving 100%, and I think she knew that too. That's why she eventually stopped training. Yeah. So I don't think she was ready, but yeah, it's definitely a little battle there when it's like that, Ooh. But with women, I've learned that I haven't really had no real issues by training women, and it's funny because a lot of women that come to me, they either had a male trainer before, and they always like, I'm so happy I came to you because it was getting a little uncomfortable. So I think sometimes women do like. Depending on, type of woman it is, they do like a female in their corner too, because it's not like they don't have to worry about, okay, if he, that side.
Yeah. Squat down a little too low.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it could be a little annoying if, them clients get a
little pushback.
Yeah, a little pushback.
Yeah. We'll take one more break. Asia's here, having a dope podcast. Let them know where they can find you, connect with you again.
On Instagram, AZIBFIT, AZBFit.
Right on. We'll be right back right here on Crakk Talk Podcast.
Beep, 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 beep. You already know. Already on, already gone. See, I'm already flown. I'm ready, already. You already know. Already on, already gone. See, I'm already flown. I'm ready, already. You already know. Already on, already gone. See, I'm already flown. I'm ready, already. You already know. Already on, already gone. See, I'm already flown. I'm ready, already. You already know. I ain't never gon' quit. I ain't with that shit. Going up, already been in. I ain't never gon' quit. I ain't with that shit. Going up, already been in. Ain't never lied to kick it. Ain't never been that nigga. Ain't gotta glow, ain't gotta boast. I ain't the one that be doing the most. Nah, me. I be with it. Lay back, try to build stacks of that fake shit. I ain't with that LA fitted where I stay at. Be low key on a low. But I keep my mind on the go. Potential with the pistol when I got flows. Fly high, so I gotta miss the po-po. Attention I get, serving niggas cause I be that vex. Working hard just to earn respect. And I'm going off cause I ain't done yet. But you already know. Already on, already gone. See, I'm already flown. I'm ready, already. You already know. Already on, already gone. See, I'm already flown. I'm ready, already. You already know. Already on, already gone. See, I'm already flown. I'm ready, already. You already know. Already on, already gone. See, I'm already flown. I'm ready, already. You already know. Blow that ooh, we got a little booty. Plus, I've never been a groupie. Kinda loopy, never shot a Uzi, so you gotta please excuse me. I ain't with the violence, never been a pirate, but I killed niggas with silence. School was private, then I went to college. Know I had to get that knowledge. I've been this and I've been that. Run around the world, I did that. In fact, I stay intact, and I'm at the point where I'm attacked. These niggas see bumble, been a queen, not a hoe. Best believe I'ma do my thing, cause you ain't Jane and you ain't me. You already know. Already on, already gone. See, I'm already flown. I'm ready, already. You already know. Already on, already gone. See, I'm already flown. I'm ready, already. You already know. Already on, already gone. See, I'm already flown. I'm ready, already. You already know. Already on, already gone. See, I'm already flown. I'm ready, already. You already know. I ain't never gon' quit. I ain't with that shit. Going up, already been in. Already know. I ain't never gon' quit. I ain't with that shit. Going up, already been in. Already know. You already know. You already know.
Okay, and we are back, about to wrap it up with Asia. But before we wrap it up, I definitely want to give you the opportunity to talk about what you telling me earlier before we started rolling your plans and new goals for 2019 as far as being more transparent with your followers, letting them get to know you a little bit more. So talk to us about that. What's the plan to roll out? How you going to do it?
So like I was saying earlier before we started, like my goals for 2019 is, like I said, just to be more transparent, because you know they're only going to relate to me, and they're only going to, you know, be influenced by me if they can relate to me. So just with me, like if you go on my page, you know, it's stuff there and it's content there, and I usually talk a lot on my stories, but nothing's really on my page like for it to be there and for somebody to come back and look at or come back and tune into. But yeah, so I just plan to just be a little bit more open with myself, just a little bit more see-through, so that they can like see actually who I am, you know, when I struggle, you know, like I do some workouts on live and everything, but I want to like really show them, you know, maybe the same things that they go through, like tough workouts, how do they get through it, you know, being a mom with the child, you know, just diving in and just being a little bit more transparent to them, so that they can understand who I really am, you know, not just looking at me and saying, oh, okay, she's fit, she's this, she's that, she eats good, she drinks water, she has a kid and has it all managed. Like, you know, like it's more to it than just what I post. And sometimes a post is just, it is what it is. You can't, you don't know what's behind the post or what went on behind it, or be right before you posted it. So I just really want to just give more, like open up, you know, and I think it's something I've been afraid to do, just because it's you know, you're open, you
let them into your world.
You letting them in, and but that's something I really want to do. I think that would really just get people more engaged in me and just know me and just get a feel for me more, rather than just seeing me look bomb on Instagram or seeing me do killer workouts where I'm not struggling. Right? So that's definitely something I'll have to work on. Something I'm going to work on going into the new year. And then just I'm working on a lot of stuff. Like I'm trying to find a home gym so I can, you know, get training people and just take off for real. But it's a lot of things in store. So everybody just have to keep tuning in to my page and just keep following me. I'm trying to be influence y'all and motivate y'all, you know. So we all can be goals.
Right. All natural, by the way.
All natural. The only thing I drink is Gatorade.
That's it. All right, ready for some listener questions?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, we got 2 of them here for you, then we're going to wrap it up. For the people who are listening, this is a fairly new segment. Listeners, submit your questions. You can submit your questions right now if you want at clothtalk5@gmail.com. It could be whatever you want to ask a guest. Just write it in and I'll be sure to ask it. So the first one we got here for Asia, and all the listeners, your listeners who submit your question, you remain anonymous, so I won't be saying your name or nothing like that. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Save the person's life who killed your grandmother in a car accident by drunk driving, or give your kidney to someone who bullied you in high school. So you're saving the life either way, but who's it going to be?
So save the person who killed your grandmother, or save the bully. I think I probably would save the bully.
Save the bully?
Yeah, I think I would save the bully.
No sympathy for the drunk driver?
I mean, it's sympathy there, but it's kind of like, I mean, both cases you don't know why the person bullied you, you don't know why the person got drunk and did what they did. But I feel like the bully, y'all said high school?
Mm-hmm. High school bully.
High school bully, most kids that are bullying because they're getting bullied. And, you know, you don't know what their background is. You don't know why they came to school and want to take it out on somebody else. So, and you don't know where they could go in the future, you know what I'm saying, as they grow up and everything. I feel like the drunk driver, that was more of a conscious decision on yourself. You got drunk, you know. Yeah, you got to a point where you was unconscious and you did what you did. But I would say the bully because it's just
give up your kidney.
Yeah, I would give up my kidney. Yeah, I mean, I think I still that losing my grandma. You know, people love their grandma.
What?
You love your grandma, so I think that would be a hard one too. But I mean, in both cases, you would have to forgive both person by making whatever decision you made. But I think like right now, most people when they get bullied, unless it's like to an extreme, you know, case, you know, you forget about it. You know, back then you look at them, you're like, oh shoot, they used to bully me. Look at me now. So it's like something you brush off more than a death, like somebody losing somebody. So yeah, I think I most definitely would give my kidney to the bully before the drunk driver.
Save the bully. All right.
I'm gonna save the bully.
They
probably didn't mean to bully me.
They probably didn't mean.
They probably really liked me or something.
There you go. That's how it always starts.
Right.
He really like you, but don't know how to say it.
Right.
So I'm a puncher.
And messing up even more.
Yeah. It's like, why you say why you gotta beat me up?
Okay.
All right, got one more. Okay, this is an easy fun one. Snicks or Twickers? Twix. Twickers. Snickers or Twix? Make me proud.
You was acting like me right there.
Twickers.
Flipping them in. I'm gonna say Snickers.
Damn it!
You was going with the Twix?
I'm rolling with Twix.
Oh no, I gotta go with the Snickers. You know, you eat the Snickers, you turn into your real self and everything. No, I like the Snickers. I love
rolling
Snickers.
with Snickers. All right.
It would have to be Snickers.
All right, I respect it. Let them know again where they can follow you, connect with you, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, y'all can follow me on Instagram at AZBFit, AZIBFIT. I'm on Instagram, and you can follow me on Facebook, the same thing, or I think I'll be posting stuff on my real account, Asia Bange. But yeah, my fitness page, that's where all my fitness stuff is. So
there you go. Make sure you follow the podcast on IG at cloth_talk_podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. That's Cloth Talk Podcast. Subscribe. And if you're just listening on iTunes, make sure you go ahead and leave me a rating and review. Make sure you go holler and follow Asia on all the platforms. Get you right for the 2019.
Yes, we're doing this.
Get those New Year's resolutions popping. Once again, it's Jay Brody. I'm out. See you next time.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.